Welcome to another episode of What the Bible Meant. I am your host, Harriet Nalumbwe, and in our today's discussion, have an interesting topic entitled, Are Some Sins Considered Greater or Lesser Than Others? And I am joined with a man of God from Mount Zion, and at this time I'll give him the opportunity to introduce himself.
Thank you so much. Welcome our viewers. I'm Tale Justin from World Dominion Church International, Mount Zion Center. God bless you. Welcome you and enjoy this interview and discussion.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Brother Justin, before I actually go any further, I would love to tell us what sin means.
All right.
Yes.
Sin is a big subject and it can be defined into two categories.
Okay.
There is sin as the nature and sin as actions.
Okay.
Sin as actions, they result from sin. When we say sin as the nature, it means the nature of Satan in the heart of a person who has not accepted Jesus Christ.
Okay.
That person possesses the nature of Satan, which is called sin, and that it is that sin that is responsible now for the results of sins. So there is sin, there is sins. Sins are actions of sin. Sin is the nature of Satan in the heart of a person who is not born again or has not accepted Christ Jesus in his life.
Okay, thank you so much. So viewers, you can comment in the comment section on what you think about the topic that we're having. We'll be right back.
Lono Studios cares about your memories, and what better way to keep your memories than having pictures and videos. As Lono Studios, we cover events such as weddings, kitchen parties, chilanga mulilo, birthday parties, as well as corporate events. If you are looking for quality pictures and videos for such events, look no further than Lono Studios. Visit and like our Facebook page at LonoZM.
Welcome back to What the Bible Meant, as we are discussing about the topic, Are some sins considered greater or lesser than others? So, Mr. Mtale,
Yes.
What do you think about the topic that we're having? Are some sins considered greater or lesser than others?
All right, thank you so much for the wonderful question. Bible questions, you do injustice to answer them by yes or no.
Yes.
You must have the explanation which will lead to the yes or no question.
Yes,
or
yes.
no answer, yeah. So, some sins considered greater, others less great. When you draw the example of the Constitution, when you look at the nation constitutions, that
Okay.
from a human perspective, yeah, crimes carry the different weight depending on the penalty and the judgment that follows that particular crime. That is why there are civil cases, criminal cases,
Yes,
okay?
yes.
And those crimes which fall in each category carries the weightiness of that particular category.
Yes, yes,
so when it comes to sin, when you read the book of 1 John chapter 5 from verse 16 up to 17, there the Bible talks about, maybe let me just read it so
Yes,
that
okay.
our viewers can see what we are talking about. If anyone sees his brother sinning a sin which does not lead to death, he will ask, and he will give him life for those who commit sin not leading to death.
Okay.
There is sin leading to death. I do not say that he should pray about that. Or unrighteousness is sin, and there is sin not leading to death.
Okay.
So the Bible here categorically states that there is the sin that leads to death, and there is the another which doesn't. Of course, that gives you the answer to say they are not carrying the same weight. One is leading you to death, another one is not leading you to death. So yes, some sin. In fact, I shouldn't say some sins as if they are many.
Okay.
There is only one sin which is greater.
Okay.
And there are other sins which are less great. So can I go ahead to elaborate on that?
It's true, there are sins that are greater and there are sins that are less.
It's not true that there are sins which are greater. There is only one, not sins. There is only one sin which is greater. The rest of the sins
Okay.
are not compared to this one. Only one.
So,
is correct.
according to the Bible that we read, I heard saying that there are sins that lead to death and there are sins that do not lead to death.
It was singular. There is sin that leads to death,
and there is a sin
that does not lead to death.
Okay, so what are some of the examples of those that lead to death?
Okay, so the example of the sin that leads to death is what I talked about in my definition of sin, that it's the nature of Satan in someone's life, and it's that nature which gives birth to those sins. So the sin that leads to death, it's the sin God talked about when he was speaking to Adam, to say, the day you shall eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil,
Yes.
in that day you